many Dynamite Entertainment bodacious females brought together in a fantastic crossover event. Curious? If so, watch this video. Presented are multiple related Dynamite Entertainment 2015 Swords of Sorrow comic book titles. The titles are presented in chronological order, and for each issue, up to several covers and interior pages, plus information about the action going on. For Swords of Sorrow, issue number 1, Dynamite's fiercest females in their biggest event ever. Fan favorite Gail Simone and rising art star Sergio Davila combined to tell the ultimate pulp adventure featuring Vampirella, Dejah Thoris, Red Sonja, Kato, Jungle Girl, and many, many more. Villains and heroes from a dozen worlds and eras face off against a legendary evil that threatens all their homelands. Don't miss this thrilling epic tale, an event supported by one-shot side adventures written by the hottest writers today, like G. Willow Wilson, Marguerite Bennett, Nancy Collins, and more. For issue number 2, all the great women of Dynamite are united against an unbeatable horror, and this historic issue features, for the first time ever, characters from the worlds of Edgar Rice Burroughs and Robert E. Howard as Dejah Thoris and Red Sonja clash. For issue number 3, the genre-busting, time-hopping, epic heroine crossover continues. In the midst of World War II, reluctant allies, Miss Fury and the Black Sparrow, are joined by an epic host of heroines from different worlds and eras to fight an invasion taking place on Broadway. Featuring Red Sonja, Eva, the daughter of Dracula, Lady Zorro, and more. For issue number 4, the wildest Dynamite crossover epic continues as whole cities are smashed together in the prelude to interdimensional war. It's Martians versus monsters versus barbarians, and more, with the women of chaos on the wrong side of good versus evil. Plus, where are Red Sonja, Vampirella, and Dejah Thoris in their world's time of need? Guest stars galore in this massive tale of battle, blades, and bikinis. For issue number 5, as the epic, era-spanning tale rockets towards conclusion, reluctant heroines find themselves facing terrifying alternate versions of themselves on the road to the ultimate showdown with the Prince of all worlds. Can even the combined forces of Kato, Red Sonja, Dejah Thoris, Vampirella, Jungle Girl, Lady Zorro, and dozens more save reality? For issue number 6, it all ends now. The planet-crushing finale to this epic crossover ends here. With a key player down for the count, can the remaining warriors and their swords of sorrow hold the tide of purgatory and the other chaos women and the prince of all dimensions, as the universe collapses around them. For Swords of Sorrow, Vampirella, Jennifer Blood, issue number 1. A team-up set up by Swords of Sorrow's Gail Simone, featuring the writer that she handpicked, Nancy A. Collins. Vampirella travels to Southern California to hunt down a supernatural serial killer known as the Pacifica Slasher, only to find herself transported to an alternate reality where there's no such thing as vampires, demons, and magic. But as the most dangerous woman in the world, vigilante Jennifer Blood knows that doesn't mean monsters don't exist. Does the weirdly shaped sword presented to her by the mysterious being called the Courier hold the key to returning Vampirella to her own universe? Or will she be forced to live and die in L.A.? For issue number 2, now that the threat of the Pacifica Slasher, Anaheim Ripper, has been handled, Vampirella must figure out how to survive in a world without monsters, including where to find her next meal. Meanwhile, Jennifer Blood turns her attention to Los Mirados, a deadly narco gang with a fondness for turning the faces of those who cross them into sporting goods. However, her plans for the gang's leaders are derailed by yet another Jennifer Blood copycat, one who bears a disturbing resemblance to a certain voluptuous vampire. For issue number 3, Jennifer Blood is determined to avenge herself on the woman she believes is trying to frame her for murder, Vampirella. But the sudden arrival of Los Mirados leader Calavera and his heavily armed narcos force the vigilante and the vampire to team up in a deadly cemetery dance. For issue number 4, in the final issue of this groundbreaking miniseries, The Vampire and the Vigilante, 2 of the Dynamite universe's most dangerous female characters must put aside their differences in order to combat a common enemy determined to destroy them. While Jennifer Blood must figure out how to kill legions of the prince's unkillable charred men, Vampirella throws down against fellow bloodsucker Chastity to decide once and for all who is the greatest female vampire-turned-vampire hunter of all time. For Swords of Sorrow, Chaos Special, who are the villains behind the epic Swords of Sorrow event? Discover the darkest minds in Dynamite's roster, the kind of ladies who are fond of how bloodstains look on 6-inch heels. Take a ride with some of the deadliest women in the Dynamite universe as they prove the only thing you have to fear is them. For Swords of Sorrow, Masquerade Kato Special. When Kato's luxury getaway car, Black Beauty, takes on a mind of its own and goes on a rampage through the streets of New York, Masquerade is hot on its trail. But when the two clash, who will end up in the driver's seat? Strange forces are at work, and unlikely heroes must come together to solve the mystery. For Swords of Sorrow, Dejah Thoris and Irene Adler, issue number 1. Irene Adler has been many things in her young life: a fugitive, a master of disguise, and a femme fatale. But even she is surprised to find herself made bounty hunter, tracking savage foes across the grimy streets of London. In a far-off world, defending Barsoom against an influx of trespassers, Princess Dejah Thoris is ready to put the guilty to her sword. Now, the world-colliding events of Swords of Sorrow have brought these dangerous women together, and the fate of planets hang in the balance. For issue number 2, on Barsoom, the Princess of Helium is missing, and Irene Adler is the number 1 suspect. As Adler struggles to maintain her liberty and capture her own quarry, there are now 2 Martians roaming the dark, puddled streets of London, and Princess Dejah Thoris is not dressed for the weather. For issue number 3, the streets of London are no place for a woman all on her own. They are, however, just fine for a woman wielding a sword. Dejah Thoris is used to London's dirt and its rain, but she is growing tired of its people. She and Irene Adler must surely band together to find the Banth and get Thoris back to Barsoom. But to do that, one of them would first have to back down. For Swords of Sorrow, Black Sparrow and Lady Zorro special. Lady Zorro and the Black Sparrow, 2 women from different times, join forces to fight Prince Charming's shards of chaos in a prehistoric land. With their Swords of Sorrow, they fight to keep an ancient stone with mystical abilities out of the prince's grasp. For Swords of Sorrow, Red Sonja, Jungle Girl, issue number 1. Red Sonja is plunged through the rift to Jenna the Jungle Girl's tropical island, just as paradise is besieged by a terrifying monster that rains down ice and snow with killing cold. Jenna, terrified for her homeland, is determined to destroy the source of the magic and return balance to her world, even if that means combating the she-devil herself. For issue number 2, as the jungle descends into a lethal winter, Red Sonja and Jungle Girl have finally cornered the vicious mistress Hell. And, oh, whoops, wait, it's the other way around. Monsters, magic, a dreamboat in distress, and a velociraptor chariot race. Time is running out for Sonja and Jenna to restore to Island before all is lost. For issue number 3, as the ice storm howls and unleashes a crescendo of destruction, Sonja and Jenna howl right back. They have better lung stamina. Just you watch. Mistress Hell plays her final endgame, unleashing powers beyond all control for the fate of the island and all its people. Sonja and Jenna aren't going to take that lying down, are they? For Swords of Sorrow, Panther, Jane Porter Special, Ancient Egyptian Demon Hunter and Shapeshifter Panther is thrown across a rift into the early 20th century, London, straight into the path of Jane Porter, American explorer, aviatrix, and new wife to Tarzan. Panther hasn't come alone, however, as London is plunged into chaos by the appearance of a great pyramid in the sky and what it contains. Up against gods, monsters, purgatory, and each other, the pair need all the help that ancient magic and modern aviation can supply to stop London from turning into a new hell on Earth. Writer Emma Beebe and artist Rod Rodolfo reimagined these two characters, complete with all new costumes, in this turn-of-the-century pulp action one-shot adventure. For Swords of Sorrow, Miss Fury, Lady Rawhide Special. When everything is going wrong, sometimes the only person you can trust is a complete stranger. Can Miss Fury and Lady Rawhide put aside their differences long enough to figure out what's really going on? Do you have any ideas for the future of any of the characters in this video in regards to comic books, TV, or movies, including actress choices? Now, onto a quick review of 4 thumbnails of recent Comic Excitement Convention videos that you may enjoy. Panther, a female superhero from ancient Egypt, art and story. Nightwing and Huntress, covers, pages, and story. Future? Danger Girl and the Army of Darkness, covers, pages, and story. Vicky Vale, phenomenal Batman love interest, comics and movie. More videos like this one, short and longer, including videos about several of the characters in this video, can be viewed at the Comic Excitement Convention Dynamite Entertainment playlist. Please like, comment, subscribe, and click the notifications bell.